today.
Huh? Ham of a damn.
Why is it live shit not showing up on the shit? Why are we idiots? All right. Oh yeah, no background music. That's the only thing.
Oh, are we not wearing headphones at all?
Nope. We don't need some.
Maybe I will, just in case.
Why?
Just
Just so they look better?
ceremonial.
I could do that.
It's ritualistic.
I'm used to it. Take my shoes off. Hey! Alright.
We have no intro or anything?
I can play it.
You
I can
can't.
play it.
You can't? What, can you? It's going to try to play through that.
I don't think you can play through this. It's
I
just
know.
mine.
That's what mine tries to do. My audio, it won't play anything because it thinks it's trying to play through this.
I don't have it on my music library anyway, so it doesn't matter. Using voice memos. I trust that more.
I'm really hoping. This is what I used for my individual episodes, so I'm just going to stop it.
Check, check, check. Cool.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let me press the record. Record.
Record. Give myself the clap.
What up?
Hi.
Good day, Galaxy.
Squad Roger Cast Pod. Back at it again. What'd you bring us? Some tasty delights from Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
Why were you in Pennsylvania?
So I got this beer.
I need to hear all about it.
No, I was in Indiana, Pennsylvania. Yes, there is such a place.
Confused me too when I first heard it.
So what do I do on Thursday nights? I try to go out and hit something local up. So I noticed that less than a mile from my hotel room
Quite close.
was this brewery, Levity. So I stopped in there. They had really good beer. Good crowd too. I was kind of yelling at everybody. Good locals were nice, and
Nice.
they had a little like outdoor patio area.
I missed. If you're wondering, we had paper towels soaked, wrapped around the beer to try to cool it down as quick as possible because we don't have a freezer.
But today we have the Brett Saison.
It's good.
So they basically were very kind and gave us few sample beers. We got a Saison and a couple of wild ales from Levity. They also gave us drinking glasses and
man, they had
patches
the
and
set, yo.
stickers, and they really
These
did.
guys.
They showed up and showed out. So Levity Brewing, check them out if you're ever mid-state, well, Midwestern. It's kind of actually like an hour east of Pittsburgh. So if you're ever in that area and you want to find a good spot, Levity Brewing is awesome. Like I said, also delicious fucking food.
Good.
Sometimes you go to a spot and not that like food trucks are bad, because it for like land grant obviously great, but sometimes it's just like I just kind of want a sandwich or something, and I don't want tacos out front or whatever the fuck
Right,
they have.
Yeah, you get that on the wrong day, you have a taco truck or whatever.
Yeah. Which I mean, come on, bad tacos are good, but
That's
yeah.
not true. I've had some bad tacos.
It was, I don't even remember what I had, but it was fucking delicious. So, Levity Brewing, I'm not going to say it again. So let's bust into these.
Well, hell yeah.
What else is
Thanks,
going on? What happened?
Well, it's been a bit. We've done a lot of things. We saw BT Bam.
Ooh, did you smell it? Sorry.
I did. It smells like a cider. We went to Vegas. We went to see BT Bam. We went canoeing. What else have we done? Sacrificed a goat.
Oh, you know what? I'm pissed.
Oh, it was a lamb. Sorry.
No,
What are you pissed about?
Oh my god, I can't believe you know what I started doing?
Well, we've been drinking White Claws. That's the inside joke
You
between
know-
our Patreon group. So, no White Claws today. You'll be very happy to know, Kerner.
You know what I started doing? Was
Woodworking?
playing fucking Dark Souls.
Ah, yes.
I finally got back into it. I'm right where I ended my original game. So I started over because I bought the remastered version.
Yep.
So I had to start all the way over.
Yep.
You know what? Everybody listening can get fucked. I can't handle. It's so frustrating, and it's not. I don't get anything out of it. Like after I beat a boss, I'm like, that was so. I mean, I got nothing out of that. Literally, you'll kill like a big boss, and you'll get nothing out of it. Nothing.
That's not true.
I've killed two bosses. I killed that hog thing, which he's not too hard.
Well, they all give you a ton of souls. They usually give you a humanity, and they might sometimes give you an item.
I got nothing out of the priest. I got nothing out of...
Priest?
Yeah, you finally get to that church, and there's a real big shielded guy. He doesn't really give you anything, but upstairs there's a priest that shoots like magic at you.
Oh,
and
yeah,
there's like
channeler, yeah.
And there's like 50 dudes around him.
Yeah.
Oh my
He's
god.
not a boss.
I know. He was actually fairly easy to kill.
But you have to get to him.
But you have to get
buffs
to
all
him.
the enemies, and then they like attack you, one-hit kills.
And the only reason I got lucky with that is he followed me into a stairwell, and all the guys got funneled in behind him. So I was able just to attack him.
Right.
Oh, it's just get fucked. That's the name of the game. Because
I
as
think
soon
it's
as I
funny.
kill him, and I'll walk somewhere else, and just a simple guy will... Done.
Dude, you can never take that game easy.
No.
Which is kind of annoying sometimes, but even when we're goofing around with friends, I'm like, I haven't played this in a while. I actually need to like get my shit together, or so I'm gonna get taken out.
And it's all based on memory, because you need to know where to go, and along the way you need to know what enemies are between you and your end, your destination,
and what their moveset
And
is, and
exactly.
how they move. Every once in a while, one of those like skinny hollow guys will just fuck you up.
There's
the rapid dagger attack thing, and
Yeah.
just like, oh man,
Yep.
I've died by that so many times.
Yeah.
I think it's funny that you have the exact opposite reaction of Tommy Boy after beating a boss. Is like the most satisfaction you've ever gotten from a game, because it fucking takes so long because it's so hard.
I understand it, but it's just frustrating.
It is.
Like, I'll get to a point where I'll get really comfortable with a boss, and I'll be doing all the right things. I'm taking it slow, being patient, and then he'll whip out a move that I haven't seen in 20 moves, and he kills me because of that. And you're like, I have been waiting for all of his moves, and all of a sudden you whip that out right when I'm trying to attack you.
You know what's funny is that everything that you're saying reminds me of how well they made the board game, because it feels that exact same
It's
way.
just, it's unforgiving.
No
It's
actual, like, yeah.
It's very unforgiving. So yeah, that's what I've been trying to charge.
We just
through
gotta
that.
play. We gotta play multiplayer.
What's technically the first boss?
Oh, how does the first one start? That fat Taurus demon that jumps on you in the asylum, but he's optional right there. You can run past him. So the first real boss. Would
Oh,
be
the Taurus demon.
the
Yeah, that's
Taurus
that big
demon.
bull thing.
Did I say Taurus demon? No, I said asylum demon. I think. The big. As soon as you like walk into that church at the very beginning, this giant thing jumps from the ceiling.
Oh yeah. You have to defeat him later, anyways.
Right. So you can skip him then.
Yeah, I ran past him and then I chopped him from above, which took like half of his life away.
Right.
So I defeated him. I met the gargoyles on top of the church.
Yeah. Taurus demon. Yeah. So I guess the asylum demon is the first one, like the Gundar guy, like in suit and armor in the third one, that you see in like the graveyard at the beginning of the third one. Yeah. Forgot every opening area has that little first boss.
It seems like every new area has that one guy, like in a grand scheme of an area.
Yeah.
There's that one guy in the middle. Like there's just like a big black
It's
knight.
just like a mini boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But those mini bosses, man, you can't take them lightly. Just like you said, a fucking minion will run up behind you and be like, you're like, wait.
You catch one who does the wrong move when you're out of stamina, and then you just die. It's crazy.
Well, cheers on this.
Never
Well, I'm
has.
sure we might get back into the Dark Souls here. Cheers on it's
Ooh,
a
it
Brett
smells
Saison. Are we drinking this already? Hold on.
It smells great. I sniffed it.
Oh, I'm drinking that.
You
Cheers.
sure are.
I want to drink it. I also want to spill it down my cheeks. Down my cheeks.
Having them cheeks. Is this actually a saison?
Yeah.
It
Ooh, it's
tastes-
got like a bit of like vanilla almost in it. It's kind of a sweet.
It's also aged.
subtle funk, straw, bread crust, caramel, and even nuttiness. So maybe that's the nuttiness that I'm getting at the end. This is really good.
Oh, so is it that strain of yeast that makes it like a sour Brett? Is that what it is?
Maybe. That's a
Is that
good
what it says
question.
on there?
Oh yeah, Brettanomyces. The midichlorian yeast.
Bread Anonymous. Yeah, so it tastes like a sour to me. When I sniffed it, I didn't get the sour. I thought it was like a cider at first.
It smells like a saison. It drinks a little bit like a sour. Yeah, because a saison is usually like bright and shimmery and pretty easy to drink. But I do like the balance of it. I do think it's balanced kind of well.
Yeah, like it doesn't overpower you with one thing.
Yeah,
you can get all the flavors, even though if I'm not like necessarily used to all those flavors.
I think it's kind of weird. Well, and let me get through this sentence here. I think it takes good pieces of saison and good pieces of sour and puts them together. Now that's hard to do very well because both of those are very unique flavors.
It's like I'm having a wine right now.
Like a sour wine.
Like it's super dry.
Yeah, it doesn't stay with you very much either.
It's really interesting profile.
It almost tastes like you just drank a cider, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Like it smells like a saison, drinks like a sour, and leaves like a cider. So this is a drink.
I gotta fly over this bitch. Definitely like wine.
Fuck off!
Hi, Travis Dunn. Hi.
Welcome everybody.
Oh man. Yeah, no, this is interesting. I usually don't have beers like this. You know, Jared would love this thing.
I think so. Yeah, and I would.
Some, but
I would highly suggest this if you're a saison or a sour fan. This is really, really good. I didn't even get into 6.3% alcohol. We got these like tall glasses. I don't even know what they are. 500 milliliters. So yeah, it's like a standard, real small wine glass, or 500, or maybe 750.
750 is the main one, but I think they also have a small one.
So
I'm having a duel with this fly right
here. Who's winning?
I swatted him away. I don't see him, so I might.
You're waiting for his defensive attack. His defensive attack. That's Dark Souls.
Offensive defense.
I'm defensively attacking you.
Honestly, man.
What was the other thing? Not to jump away from the beer.
Sorry, I'm gonna find on my mic for a second.
I like
it a lot.
God, what was it? Oh, it's the real, like the fencing people in Dark Souls. They have a real skinny sword and they got like a little round shield, and they're real quick, but it only takes like 4 hits to kill them. Also, I started as a wanderer. I didn't know what the fuck to start as, so I was just like, he's kind of in between a couple of the. He's not real slow and heavy, but he's not weak.
Usually, you say if you're gonna pick a normal weapon, you say I want to do strength weapons or dexterity weapons, and you kind of pick whoever strikes best with one of those.
His dexterity is the highest of all of them.
Okay.
So my right hand,
the katana and shit like that.
It's a scimitar,
Ooh,
and his normal attack is a double attack. So it worked out really well. So I've got a knight shield already, which is fucking baller.
Yeah.
Because even the big guys, if I block it, I don't take any damage.
Right.
I noticed with some of the weaker shields that even if I block it, it's like
there's a damage percentage. I think the knight is the first one that has 100%. Also look at your poise. There's a stat called poise. Only certain armors have it, but that is how susceptible you are to being staggered. It's like when somebody hits you, if you can just like take the damage, but you don't get staggered, then you can hit them right back. It's convenient.
Oh, mine's probably pretty bad because if my stamina goes down, it's 100%. I get fucked.
Really?
And it's even the small guys. I'll like fall to the ground, and it takes me a half hour to get up.
Well, in that case, then you want to like instead of blocking all the time, just be dodging.
See, I don't like dodging. I've got a decent shield.
You gotta get used to it. Like it takes a long time to get the timing right.
I strafe, but I don't roll. Because the rolling, you're guessing. You're trying to guess which way they're going, and you see the beginning of an attack, and I'm like, well, if I roll right, is he gonna follow me, or what kind of attack is this?
A lot of times I just roll into him.
Yeah. Well, I always look for the side swipe because you can roll under that and then get close and hack their nuts off. So this saison's pretty good though.
The special attack that I like.
The hack nuts. The nut hack.
Yeah, embrace the roll, man. It's fun. No, this is good. Never something that I would pick, but.
Yeah, and I'm glad they had some extremely good ones, and actually I completely forgot. I do have 2 left. They have an IPA called the Medulla Oblongata. and it is really good.
That's funny.
But since we haven't been recording, I've been chipping away at those. I had 2 4-packs.
Yeah.
So one of them I was like, I'm just gonna drink myself, and the other one I was gonna keep. But over 3 weeks, I started picking at it. So,
I understand. It's the same
so
thing.
what do you? I know
I
you
drank
drink
all
my
my
beer.
White Claws.
Yeah.
Drank all my wife's White Claws.
Those are pretty good. I've been slowing down on them because I noticed they drink real sugary.
They can, yeah. I was actually, when we were in Vegas, I found another one that was a seltzer with vodka and flavor. Similar to White Claw, almost no ingredients, very simple. And I grabbed that. It's called High Noon, and I actually liked it better than White Claw.
I saw that. It's local.
Nice.
Well, it's sold local.
Sold local. Yeah. It was really good. They have more flavors too, like watermelon and pineapple and stuff.
Mm-hmm. So let's put a rating on this, but we want to keep it real.
It's gonna be
just because we got this shit for free, and they were good sports about it and everything.
I don't pull punches when we get free stuff. This
But
beer sucks.
But
Just kidding. This one's good.
This is really good because it's based off of 2 beers that aren't my favorites. Like sours, I don't normally like. Saisons are up and down. I can like a saison.
Yeah.
But I think, with that being said, because these are based off of 2 that I wouldn't particularly go out and hunt for.
Flashback.
Fuck you, ha ha! That's his name, is ha ha. I just named the fly.
Why did that happen?
Fuck you, ha ha!
No, it's got a lot of stuff that we don't normally. Did you get them? Use the Force?
The sound clapped him.
I feel it. I feel the Force.
Say that again.
It's a good beer and I like it, and I think I want to give it a 2.
I think I'm going to give it a strong 2.
Yeah.
For that reason that I don't normally like these. So, done very well.
Power.
Brett Saison, Levity Brewing. I said I wasn't going to say it again, but Levity Brewing.
Moving right along.
Moving right along. Yeah, this is a good... And honestly, this is a good one to sip on, too. Like, the drinkability, I know everybody hates it.
Okay.
But, yeah, I feel like sometimes it can taste really good, but I can only have one or half.
Super
like,
interesting.
yeah, bro, there's too much going on.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel like this is blended very well, and this could be very good. I wish it was a little colder, and that's my fault. You know, I had it sitting out, but...
I was actually thinking that it might be good that we had it at this temperature.
That's true.
Usually they say, well, I guess I shouldn't say usually. Sometimes they say what to serve it at.
In a glass.
What? No, you didn't get the flies there. I had to capture some bugs. We stayed out in the desert after Vegas.
Squished him.
I had to get a few grasshoppers out of our tent.
I killed his ass. Killed his motherfucking ass.
Motherfucking ass.
Yeah, done. All right, yeah, strong 2 out of 3. Let's finish that up. So,
I like it.
What are we going to be discussing today?
We got a lot of stuff that has happened and hasn't happened. I still haven't seen any movies.
Well,
any.
This show's over.
Seriously, I haven't seen a movie in a long time.
I've never seen a movie.
What are movies? But Comic-Con in San Diego recently happened, so there's some news from that. Marvel and Star Wars we'll be talking about. We did a lot of traveling recently. I've started watching the final season of Orange is the New Black, which is really good. They were starting to lose me like about season 5, I think, but they really brought it back.
How many seasons are there?
7. This is 7.
I think they lost me in season 3.
I'm almost done.
Season 3 they
No,
lost
I dig it. I like it.
What? I mean, as long as boobs are flying.
They're not flying as much. They did the Game of Thrones thing. It's like tits everywhere, and then as the show gets better, the tits go away. And then the show gets worse
but
again,
Game of Thrones, the tits actually get better. It's just less of them.
Okay.
Usually they're just like, whoa! Did you see
There's
her?
14 of them.
There's 14 of them.
They're all over the place.
Good thing there
Every
wasn't
house.
15, because then I have questions.
That's true. Who's counting these boobs?
Who's not? Someone's count has to be up. No, Tricinda, you haven't heard about her? She's got him.
Tricinda.
That might be the name of the show. Tricinda, she's got him.
Alright.
Okay, so I have some stuff written down. Hopefully this doesn't fuck up the recording here.
Make sure it's going back.
So, the other thing...
Switch back really quick, just to make sure.
Just flashing it, we're good.
So you know, we have a different setup today. A reason I was in Vegas because I had a recording gig, so I shipped my gear, did the gig, shipped it back. It hasn't arrived yet, so I have a mobile setup that we're using, some jingles.
Yeah, so that's
hopefully
why...
it sounds terrible. Then I'll remember to send my stuff back on
So I'm continuing the audiobook of Dooku. While I was listening to that, some things popped up that I wrote down, just some points that I want to talk about.
Nice.
On Instagram, I posted some Kylo concept art. One of them in particular I want to bring up.
Yeah.
It's about his lightsaber.
Cool. I'm with it.
The changes that happened, and we'll get into that. I wrote down childhood toys because I just remembered one of the... did you see that picture of the Megatron tank that I had when I was a kid?
I did not see
Dude!
One of my favorite
Look at
toys.
this. I had that as a kid.
Oh, I think I do remember that.
That was one of my favavorites. It
That's
looked the
so
tank version.
insane.
It looked so good.
Sorry, listeners, you can't see this. It's like a green and purple.
Purple, yeah.
I do remember seeing that.
Megatron tank. So, but that was like randomly the other day. I was like, "Fuck, what was that tank thing?" And I didn't even realize it was Megatron.
Megatron.
So I was literally just searching Transformer tank, and it ended up being Megatron. But that's the only reason I wrote that down. I asked a question on Instagram asking people like, what was their favorite childhood toys. Let me run through some of the answers here. A ragdoll Woody I had. That's actually kind of cool. Shockwave toy? Is that another Transformer? Geo Trains.
Shockwave, maybe you meant?
Zale Patreon said he had that Megatron tank as well. Optimus Primal.
Says he still has that Megatron tank.
That's all my families sacrificed and burned all my toys when I was like 10. They're like, you no longer need
I thought
these.
you all had your shit.
Get to
I
work!
thought you all had your stuff.
No, I salvaged my Pokemon cards, but outside of that, nothing exists.
Oh my god. Yeah, I have almost nothing. Unless they're hiding... Well, my family built an addition on our house. They made a second attic. So maybe they're hiding up there and I just haven't found them. But I've been home and I've
Holy
looked
shit.
and I haven't seen.
I always wanted that.
Yeah, so I'm looking up. My favorite toy was the Power Rangers back in the day. Mainly
Zords.
because I had the Zord that assembled. Like, it
This
was
one.
like the best. It was like
Is that one?
Transformers almost. With the
Yeah.
Power Rangers. It was cool.
Yeah, very
He
true.
almost looked like Optimus Prime too. I remember one year for Christmas, our neighbor got me some fake Power Rangers, and I was pissed. They were just like generic fighters in those colors, black, yellow, whatever the hell else they were. I was like, these are not the actual Power Rangers.
Oh, I think I had those.
Yeah, the one where their head flipped,
Into the...
like you squeeze the belt, and the head would like flip upside down, and there was like a normal human face, and then them with the helmet on. Sorry, no one can see this. I'm sorry.
helmet face.
But if you saw the helmet face flipping toys, let me know because I had some of those too. Yeah. Power Rangers and Batman, I think, were my main toy set back in the day.
Yeah, I had Batman Legos.
Legos. Legos.
Batman Legos and Transformers up the ass. I had probably 30 Beast Wars, Transformers, something. Dude, I particularly remember, and I believe it was a McDonald's toy. It was a little pancake box that turned into like a Falcon. And I just particularly remember that. I lost it one day and I got pissed.
So you remember losing it? I mentioned when we were talking about terrible 90s movies, talking about the Power Rangers, and I had these mugs. Are they from McDonald's or something? Yeah, these mugs from the movie.
Oh wow, that's Batman.
That's Batman Forever. I had those too. Where's the ones? I swear there were ones for Power Rangers.
Wow.
I could have just had a case of Nostalgia Factor and just made that up.
But also, that's crazy that they would like. That's glass. They're giving glass to children.
Yeah, I must have mixed two memories together: the Batman Forever mugs with the Power Rangers movie. I combined them in my head.
Similar
Memory is
time.
not reliable. I wouldn't rely on anything.
I don't remember anyone saying that.
So I guess that story that I told is fake. Let's see. Lego, Darth Maul, Desert. Oh, Duel. Padilla was talking about this in the chat. The old, from episode 1. It's a Lego of Darth Maul on his speeder bike and Qui-Gon with like a little moisture evaporator thing. And when he said that, I thought of it, and that is the Lego set that I got back in the day, right after we saw Phantom Menace, and I went right to Walmart to get Legos. That was the one that I got first. First Star Wars Lego I ever had was that.
That's a lame set.
I know. It was like $8, but I was on a budget. You know, I was 11, so I didn't have cash.
I get you. I remember for my birthday, I consolidated my birthday cash. Everything that I got, it was $100.
Wow, when you're
Oh yeah.
10 or something.
You know what I did? Bought only Beast Wars Transformers. I went in because Optimus Prime himself was like $25. So I'm like, gotta get an Optimus, gotta get a Megatron, and then I filled in my army with like 3 or 4 $10 guys, and then maybe another 20 like a Cheetor or some shit.
Cheetor.
Welcome from New Zealand. What's up, man?
I did also have. God, that looks so bad. All right, if anybody wants a bad taste in nostalgia, go back and look at the original run of Star Wars Legos, which when I was putting them together at 12 years old, I thought were the coolest thing ever. They look. That just looks like a rectangle with 2 wings on it. That looks so bad. I'm looking at Maul's Sith Infiltrator.
But it doesn't. It really doesn't look that bad. The color's off. Why? There's no blue on his Infiltrator. Why is it gray and blue? His Infiltrator's black and red. Right?
No, it's blue and gray. Look at the new one. There it is.
In the movie? I thought it was black and red.
Nah.
Look it up. I want to see the movie one. I want to be
Maul
right.
Infiltrator.
Boom! Black and red.
That's a red light.
See?
It's just dark.
Yeah. I always assumed it was black. Well, I mean, look at that. It's black and red there.
It's red on the inside. No, it looks like this. It's all gray.
Interesting.
Maybe a bit of blue. Yeah. Anyways, you know what I would want to do is outfit a motorcycle as Darth Maul's little speeder bike thing.
We're gonna speed juice away.
And then Count Dooku's as well. Is it the same one?
Yeah, probably very similar.
DX-17. Count Dooku. Speeder
Palpatine
bike.
was like, "Here, take this. He's not gonna need it anymore. He's been halved pretty bad."
I've been halved. Kenobi? No, it's a different one.
Yeah. That one looks Geonosian, actually.
I love the sound it makes.
Look at that baller Dooku over here.
Stock Dooku. Dooku from the Clone Wars is so jacked. He's ready to fight UFC.
Alright, so that's kind of a good segue since we're talking about Dooku.
Reading Dooku. They are coming out with a physical book soon, by the way.
Oh, okay. Nice.
They're going to release it in a physical written copy.
So, just to give you a little bit of a background, I'm not very far.
Tyrannus.
I'm not very far into it, but it's basically narrated by Asajj. She's going back through like his records or something.
His old journal entries.
His old journal entries. I haven't found out why yet. He's basically like, sit in this office and do my clerical work. She's like, okay. So she's going back through, and essentially Dooku is trained by the Jedi, taken from his family. He comes across his family and starts communicating with his sister.
Yeah.
And so those are the communications that Asajj is finding or listening to or watching or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's communications between Dooku and his sister, which I forget her name.
And I believe that's the first one that she finds is a record from when Dooku visited Sereno with the Jedi Order for some display or something.
Yeah.
And he ends up bumping into the royal family and realizes that he's
the royal
their
family.
son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some crazy stuff that they plant seeds everywhere and nothing like comes to fruition. Like, for example, Sifo starts having like crazy flashbacks. Sifo Dyas,
Visions.
which is like one of his best friends in the Order.
Mm-hmm.
He starts having visions, and as they're describing one of these visions, I'm like, Sifo saw the Death Star. And then right at the end of it, it wasn't the Death Star, it was this other thing. And I'm like, they were describing the goddamn Death Star.
Right.
But
It doesn't go anywhere.
like in the book, it's clearly not, but it's almost like they didn't know what it was. You can see the future, but it's not clear.
Right.
Like, I saw a Death Star, but since that's not a thing yet,
Well,
it's
yeah,
got to
of
be
course.
this, or this.
Right,
So,
it's never like crystal clear.
but that actually is one of my bullet points here. Sifo saw the Death Star. That is crazy. So,
That's awesome.
and that's like I think it's 20-some year old, late teens, early 20s Sifo, because they split up for a while, Sifo and Dooku, because they get selected by their masters. So the
Right.
book starts as they're initiates. They're not even Padawans yet.
Right.
So it goes throughout the process of being picked, and that leads into one of my other points. There's a Jedi initiate tournament, which I thought was pretty fucking brutal. It's almost like a Harry Potter thing where they it's all games.
This
but
whole fucking book reminded me of Harry Potter, and that's not a bad thing at all.
no,
Just like him and Sifo doing antics around the Jedi Temple, breaking into things, getting into trouble, invisibility cloak, finding visions of things.
dude, it's the exact same thing. They're breaking into the library for the forbidden books. I'm like, come on.
The restricted section.
The restricted section. That's not even a quote. The restricted section. But
I'll go over it. I lost my microphone.
So the Jedi Initiate Tournament. The thing I wanted to say about that is, remember, we're hearing all this from Asajj's point of view. So Asajj commentates on Dooku's history, which is really cool. That's a really cool point of view because she isn't and wasn't always bad. She's not Sith murdering everything.
Right.
She's just pissed
She's
and trying to get her way.
She has her old master in her head,
Which
too,
is fucked.
Which is like her conscious.
Yeah, so her conscience yells at her constantly.
Yeah.
So it's just you're doing the wrong thing. She's like, yeah, cut, kill. But
the
I
Jedi
thought,
fucked me up, so I'm pissed.
I was thinking, what if they introduced that into any of the movies? I don't care. 9, I think they're gonna be pretty straightforward, and they're gonna be very cut and dry about Rey and Kylo. It's their journey. They're not going to introduce some crazy shit now.
So. No. It's too late.
But if they were, I think, to be haunted, because that's essentially what it is.
Yeah.
Even though, from the Jedi Master's point of view, he's trying to help her, it's kind of a haunting possession thing. You shouldn't have done that. It's almost like Sidious haunting Vader. It's very similar.
Yeah. Man, that would be cool. No, I feel like that has to be happening, even if it's not an actual... if it's not actually Sidious doing it, but Kylo thinks it is, but it's Kylo's getting into his own head.
But remember...
he's double thinking everything he's doing.
Yeah. But remember, in the Last Jedi... The Force Awakens audiobook...
Yeah, Snoke yelled it.
Snoke was in Rey's head.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god. Mm-hmm. See, that's the stuff that they could do in a book, but it's kind of awkward to do in a movie. What are you supposed to do? Oh, is that in... how are you supposed to say, oh, that's in my head?
They actually did it pretty well with Rey and Kylo, but they were both physical. So they were cutting back and forth, but...
I'm an idiot. They do it with Luke and Obi-Wan in Episode 4. Use the Force. It's pretty apparent. Yeah. I'm how do they do it?
It's never happened before. Groundbreaking.
But I do like that idea of Darkseid doing it, being almost possession and taking over, and it's not even your will anymore.
Especially
it's
if she doesn't even know who it is.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
There's some creepy old senator starts giving her whispers.
Yeah. So to wrap it all the way back around, so the Jedi Initiate Tournament from...
Listen, I'm looking at Mofar's notes. The first line is just "get fucked" in all caps.
I wanted to remind myself to talk about Dark Souls. So what did I put down? Was "get fucked."
That's a good reminder. Sorry.
So Jedi Initiate Tournament, and I thought it was interesting because from Asajj's point of view, not being trained properly.
She was partially trained.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember why Dooku got her.
But she's more of a realist, kind of like Qui-Gon, kind of like Dooku. Dooku's not fallen to the dark side. He's using it, and he's kind of pissed, and maybe he slips in and out of it. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But so from her point of view, kind of as a gray Jedi, just being pissed right now. She's pitting a child against their friends and finding it and trying to have them understand that it's not personal. Sifo was teamed against Dooku.
Right.
And I'm dude, if you actually wanted to prove yourself, you've got to defeat your friend, your best friend.
No, that is brutal, especially for the Jedi.
And that's why I was how are you supposed to, first of all, take a whooping?
Right.
Take a whooping from your best friend, probably lose rank because of it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be trained by Yoda, but Dooku whooped my ass, so there's zero chance for that. How are you not supposed to take it personal? So it's almost just a chipping away at the Jedi code and the way of life. It's like this isn't humane almost. You're like you're trying to take all emotion out of it. Oh, this is just a brute. No.
Yeah, they just don't get it, man. It just goes on and on forever.
Yeah.
You can see it every time they add a new canon story or a new book or something. There's just more shit the Jedi are doing in the prequel era that is just calling for their demise.
Yeah, and like I said, I think it almost means more because it's coming from Asajj.
Yeah.
And she knows a little bit about the Jedi Order. How many of them are you?
The fly's back!
The fly multiply. No, but like I said, I just liked it because it was from her point of view. She's almost like agreeing with Dooku indirectly. Mm-hmm. Like he saw the flaws of the Jedi. Now she's like realizing it through his experiences. And I'm like, oh, this is so cool.
Yeah. He has questions from day one. I'm so surprised why they wouldn't. I don't know if I've talked about this before. Why wouldn't they change his name?
Dooku?
Yeah.
Well, what was his name?
Like
Dooku Sereno.
But no, I think Dooku's his last name. Sereno's the planet.
I thought
I think it's
the family of. Yeah.
I think it's Dooku's the family name.
Oh.
I think they have his name in the book, but it was an audiobook, so I didn't catch it. Like they're supposed to have announced his first name in the book. I thought that. Whatever. Somebody look it up. Even though I have a computer here, I'll look it up.
Somebody look it up. I'll do it.
Dooku first name. No, I mean any Jedi though.
Whoa.
Listen, what if you just have the Johnsons? They're chilling on Dagobah. Great place to be chilling. And they have a Force-sensitive kid, Kyle Johnson, and they take him back to the Jedi Temple. It's a very Dagobian name. What if they wouldn't change his name? What if he decides to go searching for his family one day?
Solo.
What?
Give him a name.
No, but I'm saying like.
What are you trying to find his name? Sereno, Homeworld.
What?
Tyrannus. His last name's Tyrannus.
That's his Sith last name. So his first name's Darth Dooku.
I actually the smallest thing that bothers the fuck out of me is Sifo calls him Do, and I'm like, Dooku really isn't that long of a name. No. Why do you have to say Do?
It's also bad enough without nicknaming him
Do. Come on, Do the right thing, Do. Like. Jesus, shut up!
Do the right thing.
No wonder I'm going to the dark side. Slicing your children's.
My point was, once you become a Jedi, and they detract you from your family and you start training, what if you get like frisky and curious and you want to figure out who your family is and you just start searching?
You're not supposed to.
I know you're not supposed to, but don't you think they would give them like just a single name so they wouldn't even have to ever think about it?
No, because it. Only a Sith deals in absolute. Obi-Wan said that and didn't realize he was the absolute in most circumstances. Even though he was like,
he was means nothing. By the way, that means nothing. That phrase means nothing.
Yeah, it's very black and white. It's
not in your textbook in Jedi school. This is a book about absolutes.
The book of absolutes. There are none.
The Sith do it. The Jedi doesn't.
Alright, so it was also very cool. So Do defeats Sifo,
you can't call him
and after that, the Masters choose their Padawans.
Yes.
Dooku's trying to get chosen by this lady who I forget her name, but she doesn't agree all the time with all the other Masters, and he's like, dude, it would be cool to get her point of view and her training.
Yeah.
I think she ends up taking, or passing. Does she either take Sifo? No, she takes Sifo.
She takes Sifo Dyas, yeah.
She takes Sifo
Dyas. I also
Dyas.
think she has some dark side, like, knowledge, like she's done research on it.
Yeah.
And that's why Dooku's like interested in training.
No, that was because when they broke into the library, she was the one there to help them defeat this vision that.
Defeat the vision.
Remember, like Dooku or Sifo gets trapped, or they start seeing like the Sith beast.
Didn't that sound like they were describing the beast from Kotor?
Teneric.
Tenacious.
Tenacious is
the Terran Tatek.
One of them. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's exactly what I was envisioning.
Which if I had a book, I could easily go back and just look at the page and see
Or
if
if
that's
we
what
had
it was.
any amount of inertia or care.
I don't think it's in here. Keep talking about Dooku. He's my boy.
Alright, so one or two other things. Dooku's jealous because the
It's not enough.
the master that he wanted chose his friend. He thought he was going to be left behind, and then goddamn Yoda walks up and says, you know what? This year, I'm going to take a motherfucker.
Dumbledore.
And it's going to be Dooku. So they make that connection pretty easily. Dooku gets fucking livid pissed.
He's a brat.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
Yoda, so everybody else is starting their trainings. You know, Seifel's doing these lightsaber things, or training and meditating or whatever. Dooku goes to meet up with Yoda for 2 months straight, and literally Yoda just sits there and meditates and doesn't say a goddamn thing. And Dooku's like, Master Yoda, I'm ready. Look what I learned. I can float these things and use this and do all this. And
Picks
Yoda
up a tree, doesn't he?
Yeah, he tried. Well, I think he tries to rip a tree out, and he fails.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And Yoda, at that point, that was 2 months in.
Yeah.
Because he was just getting so frustrated, so he tried to teach himself.
Yank that ancient tree out of that fucking.
So, yeah, I thought it was cool because that's just Yoda's way of training. You need patience.
Yeah.
Not all power comes from physically doing things. There is power in patience. There's power in, taking a step. There's a power in the Sith being gone for 1,000 years, because then no one expects it. There's a power in that.
That's true.
They're gone.
Yeah.
Even Yoda says, and this is one of my other points, Yoda sees no need to prepare for the Sith, because Dooku's we should be ready, and that other master that he wanted was we should be preparing just in case. And Yoda straight up says, there's no need, they're gone. And I'm like, God damn it, you're the one that should be ready. Yoda, what are you doing?
I like that though, because Dooku's if there's going to be a threat and I can't defend against it, then I'm going to join it and try to maybe fuck it up from the inside. I don't know if that was the exact plan.
That's not his plan.
But I like that.
I'm gonna wrap up Dooku here. Two final things. I think it was Yoda that says this, and it was, quote, repression is the Jedi way. I was like,
yeah. Woo! Yeah, I remember that.
But I was like, why would you even say that?
That's scary.
Yeah.
That's
Nazi.
That is. Yeah. That's some Soviet revolution.
Don't listen to your parents. Don't listen to the people across the street. Our way is the way. Just live in this basement.
Don't have your feelings.
Don't bring your feelings. Leave those in the attic.
Feelings at the door,
yep.
Kids.
Yep. The other final quote that I was like, guys, you're fucking up left and right, and it's right in front of you. It's smacking you in the head. Yoda says, only to the dark side a prophecy leads. And I was like, what? What are you doing with your life?
Wait, he's just saying prophecy in general?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I felt him contradicting himself a lot, and I think, this was 60 years before Phantom Menace? 40 years before?
40, yeah, I think.
So, also how ridiculous is it that it jumps 10 years between episode 1 and 2? Sorry. Yeah, I find Yoda contradicting himself.
I don't think that particularly contradicts himself, because because Yoda didn't, he said, I'm not even approving your training.
Yeah.
But the rest of the people think it's all right, so we're gonna go with it. And then even in episode 3, a prophecy misread, and so there's always
unsure.
Yeah, there's a lot of question marks along the way, even though he allows it to happen.
Yeah, I guess he's not necessarily the one that reads the prophecy and supports it.
Yeah, well, it's okay, you're number one.
Who got the prophecy?
Well, that's the thing.
Where is it stated anywhere? Did it come to somebody in a vision? Or was it in a holocron? Where'd they get the prophecy from?
I'm sure it had to have been a vision at some point. Someone saw one to bring balance to the Force, and everyone's like, we need him, and then he brings balance to the Force, and he cuts everyone in half. Remember that?
Nope. If I search prophecy on Wikipedia,
Darth Vader the Brutal.
Prophecy of the Five is the first one that comes up. So this probably doesn't have a specific name.
The Chosen One. Chosen One prophecy.
Chosen? No.
Boom. Chosen One.
Chosen One.
Janakin Sky Crawler. It's literally just a picture of Anakin, the chosen one.
Was the central figure in the Jedi prophecy that foretold the coming of the one destined to bring balance to the Force by destroying the Sith. Yes, we already know that. The realm of Mortis. Yeah, I have to watch that shit on Clone Wars.
No, you don't.
So out of the loop. The Mortis stuff I do.
It's interesting. Look, I think the long story short is like someone envisioned this, wrote it.
Prophecy was made by an ancient Jedi mystic and recorded on a holocron. So how ancient? It's just been sitting around for 3,000 years and they're waiting for Anakin to pop up?
You know what? Now that you say that...
Because they make it sound like it's...
Darth Bane... I do remember something... God, who was it? I remember I thought it was like Revan. Or someone was sitting around with a bunch of other people and they saw Darth Vader.
This is obviously before...
It was like 1,000...
Bane.
Yeah. I don't know why I said Revan. It's something along those lines. It's in a hologram where someone like has a vision and it ends up being with several other ancient. So like, for example, let's just say Bane was having the vision. Like Revan was there in the vision, and everybody's like, we're yeah, and they're all like, we're all here for a purpose, and then they feel like this darkness come in, and they're like, something's fucked. And they all start looking at each other, and then they feel like this half cyborg demon thing, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I believe it's in a comic."
Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, it was Darth Vader, and they're like, "Holy shit, that's true evil." Like he is so fucked. Like I don't know if it was Bane, but it's along those lines where several ancient Sith were together, and they're like, "That is where we're leading. That's where we're going."
Shinobi might know. Shinobi, tell us, please.
Yeah.
Please.
Please do it, yes. That's all I have for Dooku. Any final thoughts? I obviously haven't finished it yet, but chipping away at it. That one's very kiddish. I wouldn't say it's a little.
Yeah, is there anything above like teen? I'd say it's there. Like in between teen and like normal fiction.
Young adult.
Teen, young adult.
Teen is teen, right? When do you become an adult? I'm 31. It hasn't happened yet.
It won't. All right, yeah. So it's very young adult.
Star Wars Vector.
A lot of good information, especially because I'm a big Dooku fan, so it was cool to get some backstory. Felt very much like Harry Potter, which I was about that. So
I'm okay with it. The information that's there is really relevant, and it's tying together a lot of tension. Like you can finally see like the building blocks crumbling from
yes.
the Jedi from within.
Yes.
And you can feel it from Dooku, who's supposed to be an innocent bystander, sort of. You know, he's just being trained. He's strong, but then you just like, it's almost like Dooku's failure wasn't his own. It was the Jedi failing and him like being forced to make a decision.
He was at the critical time where he was noticing all these things like were really starting to fuck up.
Yeah.
And he wanted to change things, and he tried so hard the Jedi wouldn't listen, and at one point he just decided to up and leave.
But think like Ahsoka does the same goddamn thing.
Yeah.
Two badasses right there.
I know. I think I'll enjoy the book itself better than the audiobook. The
Dude!
audiobook was well done. It was cast well. I liked that it was a live, not a live cast, a full cast. There was one guy with a southern accent that I really couldn't.
I don't remember that.
I couldn't do that.
I was gonna ask you which is worse, do or goddamn Admiral Doc and
What did you just try to do?
That fucking Ram Tam from the Tarkin one.
Not the Tarkin one, the Thrawn one.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry,
Yeah,
you're
the
right.
Louisiana guy or whatever. Yeah,
Louisiana.
he sounded.
Louisiana Tatooine.
He sounded kind of like that guy.
Ooh.
So maybe you haven't gotten there yet. But I mean, they did a great job. I just think I like to read stuff better, especially when there's a ton of new info. I want to see names. I want to see spellings. I want to see all that stuff. So I think I'll like the written book.
The
More supreme.
fandom website that we're on here, the one of the titles right here is The Rise and Fall of Anakin Skywalker. It's just the entire first 6 movies.
Yeah, I mean that's all of Star Wars. That's the entire Chosen One prophecy. That's
It's
the
still
entire
going on in
saga.
the sequels.
It's still happening.
He died, and we're still trying to be him.
We're still trying to beat him.
So let me ask you, because I saw, I don't know if it was a theory, but obviously in episode 7, Kylo has Darth Vader's mask.
Yes.
There was a theory that he went to Endor to get it, and that's why, or for whatever reason, that's why Rey and the rest of them have to go to Endor. And
I have not heard that, but that would make sense.
And it's like, yeah, trying to connect a couple things there.
Like, I assume, well, it says that him and the Knights of Ren are like collecting Sith artifacts and stuff, right?
And that would be a perfect place to start.
Yeah, so I'm sure he went to Endor and tried to find Darth Vader stuff and Palpatine stuff.
Well, it's like, yeah, the most recent reign, you want to go right where they ended, yeah. So I thought that was really cool. And then also, if you're on the light side, if you're trying to end the current reign, let's go find out what power they found, or maybe we can find something that we can use against them. So we'll start there. So
yeah.
I thought that was kind of cool. I recently posted concept art of Kylo. We're going to actually go through Unused Force Awakens concept art. So if you guys are live with us, fuck off, because you're not going to be able to see it.
If you're listening after the fact, you want to check this out. It's on Slashfilm. I just searched up Force Awakens concept art, and this was like the third result. It says, beautiful unused Force Awakens concept art. ...
So one of the first things we see is kind of like a flattened TIE Fighter. So the cockpit is the exact same as a normal TIE Fighter, but the wings fold out, so in half.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess when you take off, they would fold flat, and it'd be a normal TIE Fighter.
Well, it looks like an X-Wing.
Kind of, but look, it would fold up to become that.
Right, yeah. Instead of all the way flat down, but when it's expanded, it looks like an X-Wing.
Yeah, so it actually has like landing ability. So you can see it has feet on there.
Yeah.
As opposed to like landing on its wings or whatever you want to call those, the panels.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That is really cool, actually.
We have like some propaganda style art with Han. And
almost like gunslinger stuff with
some robot.
HK,
Looks
meat
like
bag.
he's dueling, yeah. Doesn't look like actual concept art, but just like them fucking around maybe. TIE Interceptor and I remember reading that after Rogue One about Vader's castle was originally.
Oh, I thought the Addams Family was in the
no,
sequel trilogy.
This is the Haunted Mansion from Disney. That's what I bought Disney.
Yeah.
The
Tower of Terror. Remember?
Yeah, dude, I do. That ride's so sweet. Anyways,
I
Vader's castle on Mustafar with TIE Interceptors.
I've always loved, even on Earth, the fact that lava can flow like a river.
Yeah.
Dude, that like gives me shivers. Like that's so fucking crazy.
It's so crazy. Mountain Dew in the background.
Dude. There's holes in some rocks. All right. Next.
Yeah, it's like looks like Skyrim kind of stuff. We're gonna skip that. Plus concept art of.
That looks like Jakku.
Well, I think it's got two suns. It's gonna be Tatooine, yeah.
Or Jeddah. No, this is for Force Awakens. That's gotta be Jakku. Is there two suns on Jakku?
Before it was decided that it would be a desert planet. So it's just the crashed Star Destroyer there with the suns.
And you can kind of see kind of a makeshift city. It looks like a bunch of huts.
Can we just talk about this mere fact? Why are there so many desert planets? Why is it the focus? You know the one in 9 is going to be a new one.
You know, I guess my answer to that would be...
Star Wars is unimaginative and boring.
I mean, you took my answer.
Thank you.
But I guess my it would be rarer. It would be more rare to have a lush, vibrant planet than it would just be have a dead, like a gas planets out of our entire solar system. I think 50% of them are just complete gas.
Right.
And then the other ones are uninhabitable outside of Earth. So like ours is the rarity. So like an entire planet without water, basically almost, like would be more common. I don't know. I'm just guessing. And especially if there's two suns, it'd be so dry you wouldn't have nighttime.
But if humans didn't evolve there, why would the fuck would you live there? Why would you live on Tatooine? Because I think the Legends thing might even be canon is that humans, the species, originated from Coruscant and then gradually spread around the whole galaxy. Well, so if you roll up on Tatooine, why would you stay there?
Well, the only reason you would stay there is if there's a mineral or a resource for there that you can only find there.
Moisture.
Lack of it. I got this dry ass air.
Tatooine.
We're hitting these.
It's so ridiculous.
So this is actually one of the.
You saw?
Yeah, I posted part of this picture because that looks like a hut, like a physical teepee with a thing on top. But these are some of Kylo Ren concept arts. Obviously, there's a common theme
Yeah, they all look like Vader.
Like, that's Vader's helmet. Actually, would you like that?
And
if he physically took the helmet part and made his own mask to it? Because that looks fucking vicious sick. I like that bottom right
Dude,
one.
you know how cool it would be? Alright, so that's one people's complaints is that when he doesn't have the hood up, they don't like his helmet.
Yeah.
Because it looks a little bit awkward. What if in 9 he rebuilds his own helmet and then he puts like Vader's cap over top of it and it like completes the whole thing? It'd be so fucking sweet.
I'm getting hard quick. Like, no joke, that would be ridiculous.
That's like the culminate. Like if he doesn't get redeemed and he actually goes all in on Darkseid and he like finally makes his full complete descent, and then he just like finds Vader's like the top of Vader's helmet, repairs it, and just you see that. See it come down. Yeah, whatever that.
Where is Rey? Is she safe? Is she all right? Just word for word. I want to hit up Shinobi's stuff here. Short answer: war on planets with advanced tech such as the Rakata can turn planets into barren deserts. So I guess if you're introducing crazy shit to a planet, regardless if it's tech or new animals or something, it can completely destroy them. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean that makes sense. Like this happened on Earth. Like the Sahara used to be a jungle, basically.
Yeah, the Gizka come and they just fuck everything.
Steal the salt.
They steal it.
This one looks like Han and Leia or Han and Rey. And there's original concept of BB-8 before he was totally done. I do kind of want to see that.
BB-8 stuff?
Yeah.
His stuff was actually really cool. They dumbed it down quite a bit. So here it looks like Starkiller base maybe. There's some snow.
Mm-hmm.
The Falcon is flying in low and or landed. Oh, it's flying low.
And it looks like the good guy and bad guy are fighting, but the good guy has a green saber.
Green lightsaber. So
Good girl, I should say.
maybe they were thinking that she would have her own by then and not actually have Anakin's. Maybe? I don't know. I mean, this is all concept. Like, make something look cool. Blah. It's got to have a guy, girl, one bad, one good. Put it together.
Here's a concept of an X-Wing. I don't know what they changed here. This looks the same. Oh, it's got an extra seat.
No, don't they all have 2 seats?
Do the X-Wings have 2 seats? I don't think
That's
so.
a weird
I
question.
thought the speeders had 2 seats.
Yeah.
The tow cables and shit.
Yeah.
Mark 170s had 2 seats. Oops.
Looks like a sail barge. They're pulling hard from... actually, Rise of Skywalker. Don't we see that same goddamn thing? They're like floating through. C-3PO's on top. Like, what?
Oh, yeah, like a skiff.
Yeah. That looks exactly like it.
Yeah, it does.
Size-wise.
Here's a shot with Kylo and Han on a very skinny bridge and light
With the
shining
light coming
down.
through. That was a really cool visual, honestly.
Yeah.
I loved it. So that's the end of it. But I would like to, touch... I'd like to touch BB-8.
I want BB-8 inside me. I don't know how we can make that work, but
He's a pretty big ball.
I'm willing to explore that with Mr. BB-8.
What are your thoughts? So we're kind of scrolling through, and we're seeing a lot of Falcon stuff.
I saw a link to the Industrial Light and Magic blog with Force Awakens art.
What was your thought about that? What do you even
Speak it
call
out.
What do you even call that? Like
That's
they're
a Millennium Falcon. Speak it.
what the hell is an aluminum Falcon?
Speak with it.
Where they're running from the TIE fighters on Jakku.
Chase scene.
The chase scene. Thank you. I don't know why. I'm just.
Forgot the word.
I'm
chase.
brain dead.
Sorry.
What were your thoughts on it?
I thought it was fucking badass.
Yeah, that was the first time I got goosebumps in that film. Like, finally, well, first of all, I'm going to finish my sentence here. Yeah, that was the first time I got goosebumps. Like, we introduced Rey. No, I take that back because actually Kylo did some crazy shit in that opening scene.
Yeah.
But goosebumps or, tingles from, nostalgic fanboy stuff.
I think as soon as they unveiled the Falcon, we're just like...
Yeah, I saw that. That's junk. We don't want to... Or that thing's garbage. And they jump on it, and all the sounds, it sounds exactly the same. They take off. He can't even fucking shoot. And I'm like... Shh. But she's doing, crazy shit in it. I was like, oh, my God. All right.
yeah, she's an ace pod in that shit.
We have stumbled across a badass Kylo. So, what's the difference, though? The cape? The wardrobe? Because he looks crazy, sick, nasty, cool there.
The cape makes him look a little more, stocked.
I also
As opposed
hate
to the other one. He's pretty skinny.
His neck looks weird.
I like it.
It's like tubed.
I like it.
It looks like a air duct. Remember?
Yeah.
I hate it.
I like it.
I like the mask.
I like everything.
The helmet's
I like
okay.
all of it. You know, one thing I'm so glad they fixed is his hair. Like, that was a big complaint in 7 when he busts his helmet off and he has that fluffy, like, head and shoulders.
Head and shoulders.
Like, it looked way too clean for what he's been doing in that suit. So in 8, it looks a lot better. It's, like, grimy and kind of greasy, and it's like, you know, he's pissed. He's sitting there sweating when he's attacking people and getting yelled at by Snoke.
He does sweat.
Sweating in his cockpit.
There's some Jakku, Ravager Scramblers.
Portions Village.
Portions. I don't know, that kind of makes me mad that they didn't use that. Like, that looks like a
TIE Fighter
typical,
thing.
that looks like a typical upgrade over 30 years that they're advancing something that's great, like a TIE Fighter. Let's fold the wings and make it more compact so we can, like, ship them like that.
Maybe.
Like, I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't like it.
Efficiency's key.
BB-8. He had treads on this one.
That actually is badass. Goodyear BB-8 over here.
That actually makes sense. Like, he should be able to retract treads from his belly.
I like it.
Disney, if you're listening, I'm here. I'm ready.
What's up, Blue Rebel? We haven't seen you in a while.
Welcome.
Right now.
Fucking welcome.
So they're showing down bits of Star Destroyer.
Debris.
More debris. I've never seen this before.
That shot of all the X-Wings rolling into...
It's the Resistance.
Maz Kanata's place over the... Yeah.
Takodana.
Yeah. Takodana.
More skiff shit. Okay. More shit. Why is there Star Wars
It's a
stuff?
little Resistance transport thing with Leia. It's an awkward looking shit. Hux's Nazi speech.
Dude, that's
At
still...
this time in this art, they still had regular Stormtrooper helmets.
Ooh, good point.
And there's like Death Star Troopers there. They weren't upgraded to the new First Order stuff.
Ooh, they have ATST set in there too.
Which, by the way, did you notice that well, I don't know if it's actually true or if it's a theory, but like the way the visor is shaped on the First Order helmets, it looks like a duck bill. Like Disney. It's like a duck, like Donald Duck.
Yeah, I've seen the
Donald
duck. I've
helmets.
seen the ducks
You know
before.
what ducks are? Kylo Ren shit.
The best thing that's ever been created.
Still the best, my favorite
moving
shit
on.
in Star Wars. Batwing, bitch.
Here's
Otto.
that's actually episode 8. Well, I guess at beginning of the end of episode 7.
You can't talk today. I wonder if somebody actually went to Skellig Michael in Ireland and saw this and then drew it, because it looks exactly
That's
like
exactly
that.
it.
It's not like just, oh, it's a rocky island. No, it looks just like it.
We're missing a
Sorry.
walking carpet. What is this Lapras in the air? There's a manta ray floating around.
Yeah.
I wish they made those things fucking canon.
What?
The manta ray on Dantooine in
Oh,
KOTOR.
those were so sweet. So
Fucking
peaceful,
flying
running around, flipping your lightsaber, pressing Y as
Whoa,
fast
whoa,
as
whoa,
you can,
whoa, whoa, whoa.
and
Look
then
at
seeing
that.
the matter ray just coming through. The Dantooine music was so peaceful on that too.
She's got eyes on
We're gonna get pulled off of this.
We're gonna get pulled. Right there, perfect. That size comparison.
Ray standing underneath the turbine of the.
Is it underneath or beneath?
Whatever. You were saying that yesterday. What the fuck? Which one's
That
which?
pisses me off that they're so close and they mean the exact same thing.
They do?
Underneath and beneath?
Yeah, but sometimes there's like a very specific difference between words like that. Can't think of an example right now.
No,
sorry.
I use them the exact same. Like, but
Oh,
they're-
like who and whom. You know what I mean? Like there's a very slight difference.
is it beneath you
when you're
or is
supposed
it
to use those?
underneath?
Underneath.
Unbeknownst to me. Moving along.
Space shuttles and shit.
All right.
We're stop. What?
Go to search BB-8 first, and then we'll wrap up. That's actually pretty cool. Go back. Sorry.
God damn it, Omar.
That's pretty cool because it shows like
Inside of the ruined Star Destroyer.
yeah, and you would imagine it would be on its side, so everything kind of fell, kind of like in Episode 3 where R2-D2 once they start getting pulled, everything gets pulled to the side.
Torture droid.
Oh, is that supposed to be Poe? Oh, that's a Jedi.
Concept art, bro.
Just murder someone in the background. Oh,
The Rebel base has all the same shit. They just grab stuff out of the vault from Episode 4.
flying through the Star Destroyer.
Jakku
Yeah,
stuff.
I thought they did Jakku really well, honestly.
Some of this art is really, really awesome. I want posters of it. Kylo stuff.
Ooh,
Luke
old
with,
sensei
like
bun.
Yeah, like a Japanese style bun and a beard and shit.
Headlights.
Looks pretty cool.
Those who are just listening just heard me say headlights. That's what we're looking at, is headlights. All right, we wrapped all the way around.
Not yet. I got 2 more. Done. All right, what am I looking up? BB-8 concept art.
Yep. I thought these were pretty cool. This one was one of my favorites.
No one can see this.
It's
Search it up on Google Images.
essentially, he would only be able to go straight.
It's
and
more like a
backwards.
wheel, and then he's got 2 latches on the sides. That
Yeah.
kind of
I thought, like, technically, if we were to build something, that would make more sense. But him just being a magnetized ball without any tread, like, physically, if you're on sand, you would not be able to move.
That's true.
So it didn't make any sense. But I know they dumbed it down. They're supposed to be a cute little bubbly droid. So I'm happy with how they ended him. But
He
I
looks
do.
fucking sweet.
That looks more like Rebellion.
Yeah, it does.
BB-8 looks futuristic.
He looks a little fresh.
Fresh, yeah. But he's also dirty. I think they did him really well.
No, I mean like his design is fresh.
Oh, yeah.
No, but BB-8 is amazing in the way his mannerisms and voice and everything was in the movie. He's like obviously the new droid to fall in love with. Everybody loves BB-8.
Yeah. Look at that one. This is just make him look like a toe. All right.
It looks like a stuff from the 50s trying to be futuristic, like a toaster.
Brave
Like
little
a Fallout toaster.
Brave little BB-8.
Brave little 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess that was it.
It's
That was
pretty
the one that I wanted to see. I always liked the stormtroopers. Everybody was supposed to have a lightsaber at one point.
No way.
Yeah.
No, I know that's true. I just don't like it. It makes it less special for the Jedi.
Absolutely.
Jedi, take it out. Sorry.
So we'll finish up with the concept art here with Kylo Ren stuff specifically, because there was one picture. Kylo Ren concept. There was one picture specifically that I wanted to touch on because I read an article. At least saw an article.
That's the one we already saw.
Yeah, we don't want to see that. Okay, scroll down. Let's find this one.
This one?
No. Well, all of them are cool. Like,
This one?
yeah. So I mean, that's one of them. I like that because that was like very early concept. I'll know it immediately. So if you just want to ramble through here.
I'm trying. Not happening. You are making up conspiracies. You're looking up incorrect
Right here.
things.
Oh, wait. Nope, that isn't it. Keep going.
You guys
Alright,
are-
I'll pull it up on my
Mopar has lost his mind.
phone here. The reason why I wanted to bring it up is because
There's a fan art of Snoke on Kylo's back, the way Voldemort is on Quirrell's back. Right?
no, the way Yoda is on Luke's back. You humongous.
Sorry.
So what I wanted to
He also
show.
looks like Gollum.
This is Kylo Ren concept art. Notice what I'm talking about. He's holding a
Double-bladed.
double-bladed
Red and blue.
lightsaber.
Yeah, which is a little cheesy.
I agree. So, I feel like they dumbed it down because they're trying to show that like he's not all terrible. He does have some forgiveness,
Nice.
light, whatever.
Split to the bone.
But they changed it obviously to an unstable lightsaber, which I think is a much better touch. Like it's not as like, hey, look, he's good and bad. Look at the colors.
It's more subtle.
It is much more subtle.
But he's literally broken. He's a broken human.
But I thought that was really cool because if they would have went with that, we would have known right from the beginning.
Maybe we're not supposed to.
Well, spoiler:
That's
Star
why-
Wars changes.
That's why it's concept art.
But I thought that was really cool. That was one of my favorite things. That he was.
I
First of
don't
all,
love it. I'm sorry. I don't like it. It looks really cheesy.
I agree. That's why I like it. Reason being, first of all, the fact that someone's having a half and half lightsaber is fucking sweet. Second of all, they're suggesting that Kylo's actually really good with a lightsaber to even be thought of to have a double blade. You're not even supposed to touch those. You're going to cut
True.
something off.
Yeah.
Um,
Gotta be a double black belt first.
And the obvious reasons which we just touched upon, which is like he's good and bad.
Yeah.
He's not sure.
Yeah,
So I think they did a tasteful change.
Yeah.
So and I like it better. I'm glad they did.
Right.
But to even suggest that This is where they started. Like, he's good and bad.
Oh,
He's that
you're
good.
talking about the mentality behind it, like
Yeah.
from day one.
Yeah, because you got to think, it's inspired from this, and they ended up with Kylo.
Right.
But like, damn, they started really well,
They knew it
and
was
they figured it out.
Oh, JJ knows what's going on.
Also, King of the goddamn North Kylo over here looks fucking sweet.
Yeah, he's got it for what do you call that when it's just around the top of the jacket?
Dragon armor.
Glass armor. A lot of them are very too Vader-like.
See, this one was kind of confusing. That the original concept art.
That's the one I've seen the most, is where he's holding the helmet and he looks like he has a dragon mask from Skyrim.
But I was kind of confused, honestly. Was this supposed to be Kylo or was this supposed to be Snoke? Because
Kylo.
He's got a robot hand.
Maybe originally he was supposed to be like fucked up, but then they made him look like a.
Maybe he was just supposed to be Darth Vader again. And he's like, this mask sucked. I got a new one.
Well, he is.
God, good point. Party on.
You're right.
All right, guys.
Yeah, go look it up. If you have the art of book, check it out. And if you don't, just look up Force Awakens concept art. I was finding a lot of good stuff on the ILM website, so check that out too. I think they have a page for every single movie.
I could easily sit there like for an entire day and pick through all the concept art for all the movies.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure if we brought up Rogue One, there's some ridiculously cool stuff.
Yeah, you want to?
No. Because we've got to get into the Marvel calendar going forward.
Are we going to talk about that first?
Yep. Let's do it.
Are we saving the Star Wars stuff? We're saving the Star Wars stuff.
What Star Wars stuff?
We're talking about moving into Comic-Con stuff. Marvel timeline. But there was a couple of small Star Wars things that came out recently.
Oh. Yeah, there's one small thing that I want to bring up. But yeah.
Marvel timeline.
So Phase 4, Marvel, the timeline came out, which is going through like 2024 or some shit.
Ooh. Does it start with Black Widow as the next coming thing?
In 2020.
Wow.
We're pretty far away.
So yeah,
from
starting with May 2020 Black Widow movie. I thought it was a series. I guess not.
So if you can go to Google and do is that what you did?
Yeah.
Because they have a image that's actually the entire timeline.
Yeah, that's true.
And they're actually specified Disney Plus if you want to click one of them.
Is it this?
I think so.
Oh.
That one doesn't specify Plus though. But it's like half of them. Half of them are Disney Plus. Yeah, so Disney Plus.
Cool.
Plus, yeah.
Alright, so Black Widow's first. And then we have Falcon and Winter Soldier.
That's going to be a Disney Plus series.
Yeah, that one's going to be interesting.
Look, this is cringy stuff to me. We're getting the cringy. Phase 4 is cringy to me.
You think it's going to be cringy?
Absolutely. I think it's going to be cringy. It's still Disney, Marvel. They're probably going to make decent movies. I am just no longer vested in the characters. I don't really care about Black Widow, to be honest.
I'm actually excited to see Black Widow. And then Loki, that's Disney Plus. What If? That's one people are most excited about. They just do like an alternate ending, basically. Like, what if Thanos won? And they'll do like a short about it.
What if this movie's never made?
Hawkeye.
I honestly don't even like the font there.
I think it matches the new run of comics. And then Thor, Love and Thunder. Cringe title, but that's with fucking Natalie Portman. Padme is going to be the new Thor. Taika Waititi directing again, I think.
Whoa, look at this though. Look at 2021.
6 things.
Can we go back? 7 things.
7 things.
7 things, including a December of 2020. Go to back. Is this Eternals? November.
2020.
So within about 14 months, we're gonna get like 8 things.
4 things on Disney Plus and 3 movies. Huh. Yeah, they're getting. I mean, they're very aggressive. Listen, I'm gonna. Well, I can't say I'm gonna see all of them because I still haven't seen Spider-Man. I'm a little off my game. I'm usually seeing all these things.
So what? Sorry.
It's okay.
So out of all of these, what are your top 2 that you're?
Top 2 is Black Widow and Doctor Strange, actually. Because Black Widow, albeit with all the Avengers and gods and everybody else, Captain America. She's not the most exciting, but I've always been intrigued by her and Hawkeye because they're just normal people with like spec ops training.
Yeah.
And how they like interweave with all the superheroes. So, and I've always been fascinated by like Russian culture and stuff. So I'm excited. I think it's supposed to be a backstory, and if it's not, then I'm gonna be very sad.
So you're assuming it'll like bleed right up to where's she introduced?
Well, it's supposed to have a focus on how her and Hawkeye met originally.
Well, yeah, but Black Widow is first introduced in the first Avengers?
No, in Iron Man 2.
Wow, I don't remember that
So
at all.
she's been in it like as long as Cap and Tony Stark. She's been around since like the OG days.
WandaVision.
That sounds cringe.
God damn.
Also, Vision's dead, so are they prequeling this?
No, they're doing a female version of Vision now. Isn't that what they're all doing? Thor will do a girl now?
I assumed Wanda and Vision was like an in-between about Wanda and Vision being together.
Who's Wanda?
Oh, Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch. Oh, wow.
That's what I think it's gonna be like a love thing between them two.
I'm not happy with this. I'm sorry.
It's very bold. I think there's, I never read comics, and we always say that there's a lot of like, cringy stuff when I do go and like look for some comics. I'm like, yeah, I want to read about Iron Man, but they had to write 10,000 issues of Iron Man, so they got some really cringy bullshit. I feel like we're kind of getting into that territory, but they're ready to take some risks.
But this is also where like the crazy shit can and probably will happen because there's no rules anymore.
Right.
All the rules were built around the characters they couldn't kill off. Now, spoiler, they kill off half of them, and even with not killing them and bringing them back and fixing it,
right.
There's still multiverses now where they all still do die. So
right.
It's like they can do whatever the fuck they want. With that said, doing whatever the fuck you want is not always good. Having limitations and working around those limitations makes a better film. I'm just saying, like, Loki died how many times?
A lot. He's God, though, so I don't know if it matters.
That's a very good point.
I think my takeaway, well, first of all, this is only 2 years. This is 2020 and 21.
Crazy.
That's 2 years worth. There's, 9 things here, 10 things here. What I would say is they're probably going to take the first part of post-Endgame and feel free to kind of break it open and do a lot of this crazier shit, kind of adjust and see how it's taken by the crowd. Because if they're going to do a similar template where they move towards one big finale, like they did with Endgame, they got 8 years to build on, 10 years to build on. Maybe not that much.
You know what this?
Maybe 6.
You know what this feels like is.
Feels good.
This feels like daytime TV trying to do superhero stuff.
Yeah,
So like the Arrow series, that's how I feel like WandaVision series is gonna go. And goddamn, let's go to the next one. What If series? They're just gonna be like.
Just because it's Disney Plus doesn't necessarily mean it's a series. Could still be a movie.
Oh well, why wouldn't they release it in theaters?
Because they might just make a smaller budget movie and put it on Disney Plus only.
I guess that's what Netflix is doing. Yeah. Okay. I get it.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't know. Everything I've seen from DC besides Batman has been pretty cringe, and especially the TV shows. I'm not really bored with any of them.
What Batman series?
Gotham.
Okay.
Which I haven't only seen.
Great segue,
Which
Commandus.
I haven't only seen.
Have you seen? They're making a Pennyworth series.
Who's that?
Alfred.
Oh, interesting.
And I looked. If you want to Google it real quick, just put Pennyworth series. Alfred. So I think I saw this when I was in like a hotel room because that's the only time I ever see actual ads. But it's based off of him as a British SAS soldier in the 60s in London. So we're actually getting some meat behind who he was before the Waynes, which is...
The Waynes. And this is 1960s London is when this takes place. That's really interesting. So that gives him more of like... It makes more sense for him to be helping Batman rather than it's just like a butler who knows how to take care of a house and cook food is now helping the biggest detective in the world, best detective in the world.
But is this only like is this 007 just old? Well, I'm sorry for saying it because 007 was started in the 60s. So it's like
50s,
50s, 60s. How different is this gonna be from one of those movies?
But I'm fucking all about that.
And
James Bond goes to work for Batman. Bring it on.
I mean, it's a good point. I'm gonna see it. I feel bad because I haven't seen all of Gotham, and it's like step one, Batman's probably my favorite superhero, and I haven't even watched all the Batman shit. Like, what the fuck am I trying to happen? Step two.
Because those DC TV shows are garbage.
Yeah, well, no, it's true, but I do like a lot of. Well, come on now,
Like a
lot of shit. What are you gonna say? Swipe shift. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Jack Bannon as Alfred Prime. Who's that?
Who's Jack Bannon?
IMDb.com. Jack Bannon. It didn't have a link from Wikipedia, so that worries me that he's brand new. Jack Bannon. From The Imitation Game.
Interesting. Well,
goddamn
Simba,
Lions.
goddamn Simba. Rafiki jumped in.
Well, I can't see how this guy looks because. I'm sorry. There he is.
He's in. All right, so he's just like dude.
He's just a dude. He's a British dude.
So I think the article that I saw,
That's Alfred.
it's based off of
Alfred.
the Alfred from the Dark Knight series. They're basing it off of that timeline and or act. I don't know.
Okay.
I guess they didn't really talk about the background, but he says it's supposed to be a little older, as opposed to the new one who was like maybe 15 years younger. Well, probably 20 years younger.
Right.
So I mean, starting in the 60s, what are we pushing? Where he's probably 30 years younger than Bruce Wayne.
More than that, probably.
If he's in the 60s, what
He's
do you
already
think?
getting out of the army and working for
In the-
Thomas
yeah.
Wayne in the 60s.
In the 60s, so he's probably 20 in
So that means Bruce dies in what, like 1970? This is like old. See, alright. I get that they're not doing like the everything's interconnected thing anymore with DC. It's cool, it gives people more variety. But where are we at with Batman vs Superman, Justice League? Now we're doing a Batman reboot again with the Twilight guy.
That's not that's
The
not
Joker is totally separate now, and
Nope.
now we have Pennyworth, which makes Batman set in like the 80s. So now we're back to Tim Burton again. It's all
Yeah.
all first.
and none of it is connected to the Dark Knight series, which is the
Right.
best one.
all comes full circle. So all that to say, well, that Pennywise thing sounds kind of interesting, but yeah, I'm interested in Marvel season 4, Phase 4. I'm not as geeked as I was leading up to Infinity War, but I don't think that's possible. I think we need another 8-year stretch of build up to get to that climax.
So, maybe this is a good question, and we'll try to wrap things up with this. So, looking at the Marvel calendar for the next, well, for these 2 years that they're selecting here,
Yes.
what 2 movies would you like to have seen
On the roster,
on the roster that isn't?
Guardians 3.
Really? You thought Guardians 2 was worth the whole budget and everything?
Not necessarily, but especially after Infinity War and Endgame, I like to see what happens.
I have a question. What about Hulk?
I actually was arguing with Weiss about this when we were at Celebration. I was like, Mr. fucking Banner needs his own series. And he was making the point that he's been the side character in so many that he already got basically everything he needed. But I would argue that Black Widow has been a side character and everything, and now she gets something.
Yeah.
I would love, now that he's Professor Hulk for sure, I would love a Hulk movie.
Yeah, and for him to move forward beyond the Avengers,
Yeah.
and with his wisdom now, I mean, he's lived as a goddamn beast on other worlds and was freed by a god of thunder. Like, he has some knowledge.
He's also the smartest and the strongest guy in the world.
See, I was always confused about that because everybody outside of like Cap was a super genius, like Banner and Iron
Just
Man.
him and Stark. Just Bruce Banner and Tony Stark. I think they're the only
Well,
super geniuses.
Ant-Man. No, I guess not. I guess
he's
the
a
original
dumb
Ant-Man.
robber. Yeah. Robber.
I'm a robber. I'm a stealer.
What are the other names for robber? Robber.
I'm a thefter.
Theft. Thief.
I'm a thief.
Well, there's another one. Fuck, there's another word that's like robber or thief, but I can't think of it.
Heister. What do you want from me?
Bandit.
I'm a bandit. A chief bandit.
No, there's another one. The sticky bandits. Fuck, I can't think of it. Alright.
The wet bandits.
Sorry for wasting your time.
For the last hour and a half.
Apologize to everybody.
Yeah, so I guess my vote would be... See, this is tough because I don't care about Winter Soldier. I feel bad saying that because I think a lot of people like him.
Which I don't understand.
I don't understand.
I think it was
that.
just the movie was good. It was like the best Marvel movie for a while. quote unquote. So I think people just kind of latched onto it.
To be honest, I'm gonna sell out here. Give me more Spider-Man. They're doing really well with it. I'd like maybe like a middle-aged Spider-Man, not middle-aged, but he's been a teen for call it 3 movies now because we had him in Civil War, Introduction, Homecoming, and now Away From Home. So we've had 3, well, let's call it 2.5 movies where he's
also
like,
Endgame and Infinity War.
He's an Ant-Man?
Endgame and Infinity War.
Oh, yeah. So maybe if we push him into like 19, like let's put him
college.
College years, or he's starting to figure it out, or he can use the technology that he. So I don't want to give it away, but he gained some stuff in the recent film. So like him moving forward with that technology would be really fucking cool. So my vote is, I guess it's a cop out. More Spider-Man because I love it, dude. You know what? I'm gonna not gonna say that. I was gonna say more X-Men.
That's a preamble. More X-Men.
I love X-Men, and they've done it really well, and they've done it terribly.
I would like for them to integrate the X-Men into this.
Deadpool.
He's not in this yet. Remember? That's all Fox.
I know, but I'm just okay. So I guess my vote is.
Oh, I thought you were saying he already is in it.
No, I was just trying to think of more.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
More Marvel characters. Yeah, I'll just do more Spider-Man. Just do a Spider-Man series. I don't care. I think that could be done really well.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Well, now that Disney owns Fox as well, or parts of Fox, they can basically just take what happened with Deadpool and bring him over and act like all that happened.
Like he read,
because
like he saw the films.
Yeah, they would do something like that. I mean, Deadpool is that kind of character. He would just, he broke the fourth wall and he was just explaining a story that he wrote. I wrote fan fiction of myself. Deadpool 3.
Here I am.
Yeah. I want to see the X-Men come in.
What? Wouldn't that just...
They would have to leave Wolverine out of it entirely, though. They would almost have to, leave. Also, we just had the end of that other Fox X-Men thing. They're going to have to wait,
well, with
6 years.
Dark Phoenix, and I've heard that's not great. I'll see it at some point, but... I mean, that's why I didn't put it on my list. I was like, dude, I love the X-Men because there's so many opportunities, and then I'm like, well, they fucked that all up quite a bit. They killed it with Logan, and everything since then is like, why? Yeah. Why are we doing this anymore?
Yeah.
Sansa's trying.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Poe is in the third one.
Yeah, he's an ancient god demon, but oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my demon, oh my Poe.
He's the original mutant, isn't that how the theory goes?
I'll
watch it. Don't spoil it. Alert me.
I'm not sure if he was the original or one that really took over. Like he was the one that was like, everybody should get together because I'm Jesus.
Well, if it has some ties to ancient Egypt,
Oh Christ. It doesn't really.
I'm not seeing it.
There's a lot of sand though.
I hate sand.
I hate sand.
It's rough and coarse.
It's warm. It's kind of soft sometimes.
I spent 3 days in the desert. I love sand. Actually, I don't mind it. When you're ready for it, you're not gonna get mad that it gets everywhere and gets stuck in your shoes. It's fine. It's
just
great.
wear sandals.
Yeah.
Then it doesn't get stuck anywhere. That's what Anakin needs. He wouldn't have fallen to the dark side if he had Jedi
sandals. Jeez, Anakin. Get it?
Yeah, I mean, you were born on Tatooine. How do you not own a pair of sandals?
You think he would have got used to the sand after all those years?
Yeah, did Watto even give him shoes? He was a slave.
He was just feeling bad about sand. He hadn't seen it in 10 years. That's why he hated it so much.
Sandstorm.
He was just doing that thing where you suppress all your emotions. What he wanted to do was go back to see the sand. He was happy once he got on Tatooine.
Better get home quick.
No, I'm just kidding. He killed everybody.
He killed everybody.
Everything was in an entire village. Not just the women, but the women and the children.
Not just the women, but of the women too.
Sorry, I was talking too fast. I couldn't hold on to it.
That's never happened.
I guess.
Clap about it. Let me double check because.
You don't have anything else to talk about?
Well,
next time you decide to play Dark Souls, let me know and we'll do it multiplayer style. So
can we do that on the first one, on the remaster?
Yes.
See, that's also okay, and we'll wrap it up here because we'll wrap it all the way. All the enemies right now.
I've never seen that.
It's crazy.
Was it sure that you didn't want to summon him to your world?
I'm telling you, no, it was like a graffiti thing that popped up on the ground.
I know, but are you sure that the text didn't say summon him to your world?
No, it didn't say summon at all.
Really?
It said, "Do you want to like join this guy or no?"
Travis, have you seen this? I don't know what he's talking about. The way you get people in your game is you leave a summon sign down to go into somebody else's dimension and just help them in their game. So if you see the white scribble, it's usually so you can call in somebody to play co-op with you.
Oh, maybe
so you summon them and then you wait a couple seconds and then they'll join your game and then they help you feed all the enemies.
Maybe someone was trying to come in and fuck my game up then.
But you can get invaded, but there's usually no sign for that. Somebody just will invade you.
See, why is that even a part of the game?
I've never seen one that, because that's how the multiplayer works. I've never seen it where like they leave a sign and you get called to them. It's usually the other way around. So
that's what it was.
Take a screenshot. Let me know. But next time you do want to play, we'll play as a group and we'll all win.
I'm interested.
Multiplayer is fun.
What would you even call that? Like what on the ground?
It's a summon sign.
Summoning. I just want to see if the picture of it looks the same.
Ayo, Spider-Man.
Ayo, Spider-Man. I'm not even seeing any like.
What are you doing? Guys, we're looking up some Dark Souls.
I wish Glass Armor was live with us.
This. Looks like this.
Yeah, I guess that's it. Yeah, because it was just white and black though.
Or there's orange ones that are messages.
No, that wasn't.
Those are helpful messages.
It was much shorter. It was something along those lines, but it was just bright white and black.
You might have read it quickly. It probably said, "Do you want to summon X to your world?" That's probably what it was. You just read it quick. Don't worry, we'll teach you the ways, bro.
I was getting fucked though.
I know.
Well, if you want to join my game and die too, you can do it all day.
We won't die.
See that that makes it so much easier though, and I don't want it to be.
That's
easy.
what Pat was saying. That's what Butterclone was saying. We finally got him into Dark Souls 3. He was like, I would just rather play it solo because it's more challenging.
Yeah, why would I want... Because that's the whole challenge. If it's me, one against a beast, then he only has one person to focus on. If you jump in, then half the time I can just
Yeah, it's
cut him
true.
up.
But it's fun after you've played the game. So what Tommy Boy always used to say was he would beat the game once by himself. And then he would start playing multiplayer. It's just fun when you know the game and you guys can just like get on party chat and just run around together.
See, I wish
fun people up.
Wish you could do that with Skyrim.
Yeah. Elder Scrolls 6, maybe.
Don't do it.
Alright, I've had enough.
Alright, Levity Brewing, thank you.
Yes, I cannot believe that they just gave us some of this stuff, so I appreciate it.
Yep. So we'll be probably doing a couple of their beers over the next few weeks.
Yes, sir.
This was episode 199. You guys know what's next. 203. So we'll be doing that next week.
Yes!
Like I said, 2 out of 3 on the beer for the Saison that we had. It was really good. And it drank really well. I agree. If it was really cold, I think this was a good temperature. It was like chilled.
For once, I enjoyed a beer that wasn't frigid.
See, we're learning. One of these days.
Every sip, we get a little knowledge.
Every sip we take. Alright guys, I don't think I ever said any of it. I am Mopar.
Commander Cody.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Keep clapping.
Episode 199. Today is the day.
Sorry.
We're ending with you saying sorry. Sorry.
That's great, actually.
Da. Sorry. Touch. Oh, here we go.
Bye, everybody. Fuck off.
Smoke Show did say it.